that's not finished. Yeah, but I think that same document should also, there should be a copy of that, should be at this venue. So.
No, but I'm saying that this is what I tried to do 4 or 5 years ago. We're starting to take everyone, this was like, trust me, we've been on this thing for a minute. We had this where things sort of went array with trying to start up a so-called jurisprudence department. Remember? I mean, this is where this all started, sort of back there, answering this. And then I brought in a mini file box to start putting the stuff in. And then it seemed to be that I was the only one putting the stuff in, because ultimately, to go after you were done, after you had your moment, and let's say you got out, then I had to spend $150 for transcripts. Most people didn't have to do that, right? But that's what you then needed. After your stuff was done, you need to then go get the transcripts, right? Even though they had thrown it out, to a lot of people that was useless to them. To me, that's the basis of your class action lawsuits. So that's where, at a certain point, we just sort of gave up on pursuing that.
And more so because of the, we know that when we start doing things, they're going to have a counter to everything that we're doing. So one of their counters was, you can't just go to the court and get transcripts.
Yeah, right.
Transcripts are going to be, $5 a page. You know what I mean? And they're talking about, like, when I went to get my transcript, I had to fight them just to get my section, because they wanted me to get the whole day's transcripts. Like, what do I need the whole day's transcript? That's not, none of that has nothing to do with me. There's no relevance to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? But again, it's a money grab, because if you get $5 a page, like, take all of it and then you extract your part. Well, no, how about you just give me mine? You know what I mean? Well, okay, fine, we'll do it this time or whatever, right? But these are the things that we're dealing with.
Just to add on to that, I think that you see, I didn't even think about that. Yet again, I think they are subcontracting out the transcripts now. Took them, the entity, the courts, out of responsibility.
Right.
See what I mean? At this point, that they can throw every transcript, because they're what do you call it, licensed transcribers.
Yeah, transcriber,
And so what they've now done is it's the same way that at the end of the day they'll throw the cop under the bus when shit finally goes awry. They're not taking the mayor out, they're taking that police officer out. Same thing they're doing with the transcription.
Good.
That way they've now got a buffer. See what I mean? Now you're not at Old City Hall going, you guys are a bunch of criminals. You're dealing with some guy on the road, right? So
Still subject to them.
I know. The perspective that because they know it's all fraud, at any time, everyone who's involved in that can be thrown under the bus.
Right.
Anytime. So that's what they do. They're not going to throw you under the bus until it gets to a point when it's either you or them.
That's why they stopped doing that's why they stopped bonding individuals, and they do blanket bond, because people could back out of getting protection, or back out of being sued or whatever, because the ultra vires statute, which says, well, if you work for them, then everybody's going down. They're not protected by that anymore. Now they put it on every individual officer is who's gonna have to deal with, kick that guy's ass, then we're gonna back away over here. You gotta deal with that because you kicked his ass. It has nothing to do with us, even if you work for us. Which is supposed to be the signal for them, the employer or whatever, that hold on a second, you guys not gonna protect me or whatever, then F you guys, I'm not working for you then.
But then you notice how they counted that, right? They counted that by the actual so-called constables then putting all their shit in trust.
Right.
That was how they counted it, so that if you were to try and go after them, you couldn't go after them because everything was in a trust.
But I think you have to hold them accountable. And for instance, I'm writing a letter right now to Caroline Maroney, because she's now the Minister of Transportation. And they towed my car because my sticker was expired. And they used my sticker. And because I had 4-7 tickets, I went to get my sticker. And they denied me my sticker because I refused to pay the 407 fines. So they suspended my license. So
And guess what? And then
So-
you don't pay the ticket, you start paying $280.
yeah, but I'm now writing the letter. I started writing it last night. I'm hoping to get it out this week. So I'm sending it to Caroline Maroney, putting it on her because she's the minister. And I'm leaving it out where the fact that if I'm giving them 15 days to respond to the acts that they have in their system that violates people, which the Supreme Court clearly states many cases that there's so many that are saying that they can't do that. They can't make any statutes or acts that violates your constitutional right or your human rights or any rights that you have for the right to travel.
Right.
So I'm putting it on her because if she doesn't do anything about it, I also copy a guy named David something, I don't remember his last name, that he's also responsible for the legislation aspect of the Ministry of Transportation. And I'm letting them know that my rights were violated because of their acts. So I want to see how they respond to it because I'm also letting them know in the letter that I'm going to forward this information to the United Nations Human Rights. And I think that we have to start standing up and fight, and we have to start looking beyond the money. It's not about the money, because that's what everybody say. All my friends are saying, you know what, when I tell them something, they say, oh, you have time for that? Of course I have time for that. And that's what everybody keeps saying. Oh, I don't have time. So guess what? Nobody has time, and that's why these officers keep violating.
Yeah.
If people kept violating and keep fighting them beyond the money, they're going to come a point that they're going to stop harassing you because guess what? They're realizing that people are waking up like crazy. Whether they're becoming, declaring a nationality, they're waking up and understanding that government is a fraud. This stuff that called government is a fraud and it's a corporation. And it's just been violating people and it's just to make money and to try to assume some sort of a power.
But then going back to the divine warning that if you can make that argument all day, but if you don't have free national name when you make that argument, you're just a ward talking. You know what I mean? And if a ward's talking, all right, you're allowed to talk, but you don't have to go with anything that the ward says.
Well, and that's what I decided to do too, because I realized one, the setup that they have surrounding your birth certificate name. Like it's a whole process just to claim back that name because it was all done through fraudulent activity. You know what I mean? Because they didn't, during contracts, they didn't disclose any of the information to our mother or to our parents. So it was all, that contract is all void because they were supposed to disclose all the information. But the thing is, they probably wouldn't want to recognize that until you actually go through the process. But we have to hold them accountable at all costs. We can't look beyond and say, you know what, well, a transcript costs, $150 or $50 or whatever. Whatever it takes time, but we have to start putting the money aside and making time. Because everybody's saying they don't have to. Oh, you want to go through that? You have time for that? Of course I have time. I'm violated. And if we're being truthful and we stand up for what we believe, according to Noble Ali, he says that once you're violated, you shouldn't let it go. You should stand up for it. So, and I think that's the reason why it's to the point where it's at now. Because nobody will stand up.
Yeah.
Everybody just kept letting it go. Yeah, you know what? Because they don't have time. They're so busy that, put food on the table, blah, blah. But for me, first, I'll give you a good example what happened to me last week. My neighbor called the city on me saying that I have an apartment in my basement. They say garage. I have a unit in my garage. So the bylaw officer came to put a note on my door now to call him, blah, 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 blah. Man, I got on that computer and I typed out a letter, 8-page letter, and I showed him all the laws, the case studies, color law, and blah, blah, blah. And basically, long story short, just to let him know that this is private property, and you have no right with your bylaw, which is not even a law, to enter into my property. And I went and I delivered it to the hand delivered it myself to the mayor of Oshawa, and I gave him a copy, and I sent a copy to him too. I haven't heard from them since, and I haven't seen them since. So we have to start putting everything on document. And even Taj, he was saying the same thing. Don't just say verbally, but put it in writing. Put everything on a document and give it to them. Yeah, and we have to start standing up.
Going back to Caroline Mulroney, the Minister of Province of Ontario. Province of Ontario is a corporation in DC too.
Yeah.
And so they are regulated by the SEC. FINRA is the oversight committee for the SEC. So if you're gonna do something against her, write also to FINRA. And
FINRA?
yeah, FINRA, it's an oversight committee for the SEC. It's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. They're the oversight committee for the SEC in terms of violation. So if one of the corporation's board of members or directors, such as Caroline, is not doing she's ignoring your risk. Just let her know and her department know, and the other board of directors, that FINRA and the SEC will be notified, and a complaint will be issued to them and others affiliated also.
FINRA, F-I-R-A?
FINRA.
F-I-N-R-A.
Yeah, stands for Financial Industry Regulatory Authority.
Omar, you had something?
Just going back to the story here with your plates out of your sticker being out of date. What we're missing though is the next layer to it. Your conveyance can't even, your conveyance is, you signed your conveyance over to them, and then you're arguing about how they're not following stuff. The duty for you is to be responsible to yourself. Your conveyance shouldn't even be in anything that they're dealing with. So this is where you're going to be running into that next level of stuff. They're letting certain things go because, you know, maybe your apartment or whatever, it's not an issue. But if it's any big time issue, the things that we really have to do, and this is what Kuku was getting to, is be responsible to ourselves, to put ourselves into our own national sovereign position. Because you're talking to them about the plate and the registration. They may give you a little bribe. Well, ultimately, you're talking about their plate. You're talking about the car that you gifted to them. They're their sticker.
And that's a good point. But the point that stands is that they can't even do that. They can't even make any statute or acts or code or whatever that violates your right to travel.
Which right? Your human right or the corporation's right?
You're right. There's many Supreme Court case studies on that topic, that even if your license is suspended, even if you have expired plates, whatever the violation that they're claiming that you violate, they still, because your rights always your rights can't be converted. Your rights still trump any privilege that a corporation gave you.
Not if you're carrying on business as a corporation, because they're not doing it to the living body. They're doing it to a corporation. So, and I'm not denying what you're saying about the right to travel. I'm just hearing that. I'm not denying what you're saying about the right to travel. I'm just saying be very wary of trying to stand on that, because you've got your feet in both
Realms.
And I'm just telling you.
But you don't think they're doing that too? The right to travel does not mean just on the roads. It means in the water. It means verbally. Entering your jurisdiction is exercising the right to travel.
Absolutely.
But we have to not just say,
don't sign that over just by our presence. Our presence alone creates the jurisdiction.
Yeah, but what I'm saying also though, that your right cannot be converted into a privilege. Your right always stands. And even when I was renewing my license the first time, I already reserved all of my rights anyway. But besides that, your right triumph any provincial, any government statutes or regulation. And there are many case studies to back that up. So Supreme Court case studies as well. So whether or not I sign under, my rights still stand first and supersede their policy.
But that's the thing, the power of the power of them to push a policy is because of us saying their government, us saying my license, my passport, us making the argument after the fact, when that should have been at the juncture of, you know, that's why they always use ignorance is no excuse as a defense.
Absolutely.
Because they know that that's going to be the argument. Well, I didn't know that, you know, you could do that. I didn't know that that was a contract. Well, you should have known because you signed it. That's the basic rule of contract. Once you sign, it's a contract. So like our position with regard to them and the things that they do is that they're occupying colonial corporate body, and us being in our proper person, they don't have jurisdiction in our affairs. They can claim that they do. They can use force of arms and exercise that so-called power, but any majority of Moors who are exercising some aspect of right to travel, it's based on these people violating them. It's not that they're freely exercising. If these people were left them alone, they wouldn't be even interested in the right to travel. Licenses wouldn't be a problem if they weren't doing what they were doing with people. People would gladly go out and get a license and all that stuff if they weren't violating the way that they're violating. You know.
I was reading. I think there was some quotes that I was reading last week that even shows. I think there was a motion that was brought by New Hampshire, and it was based on a couple of quotes. I don't remember, but I just glanced over them and just read them last week. And they were saying that even the traffic act, or the act that the state is putting in place, they have to differentiate between the commercial driver and the person that is just going about their daily business, traveling. They themselves haven't even done that. So I'm trying to attack the act itself, because as a state, they have to have certain things in place, and they don't have that. So I'm showing them that you don't have this in place. So that's why you're violated, because if you had these things in place, there won't be nobody, they won't make any money.
But remember
because most of the people are traveling.
But remember the violation is not the act or ordinance or policy or whatever that they're instituting. Mm-hmm. The violation is that you guys are a private foreign European corporation. Right. Mm-hmm. Like that's the violation. The violation isn't the after effect.
He's trying to hold you to a law, and they're not even lawful.
But they're not lawful.
So that's part of where I was just in the junction. You're trying to hold them to certain stuff as if they're being lawful.
If they're actually lawful.
You're calling them and asking them and saying, "Hey, I'm writing this, I'm doing this." They're not lawful. That's what we're getting at.
That's like the alley. They rob people in that alley over there, and you're going over there to try to convince the robber that, oh well, you know what I mean, I don't have a wallet, so let me get mine. Well, no, you might not have a wallet, but you probably got a watch or a chain or something like that we could rob.
Well, more importantly, what they're doing is you're driving down that alley. They're taking your conveyance,
right,
which is the finance. That's why the right to travel and all that stuff with your vehicles is the major thing that they're getting at. It's like the SIL says, your right to travel is walking down the road as well. They're not going to be stopping you walking down the road because they can't, most of the time you have nothing in your pocket. Your vehicle, like when they encounter a vehicle, they know that the vehicle is worth at least whatever you're going to want your vehicle. And if you're not going to give it to us, so we can sell your vehicle and make some finance.
It's less likely, but I've seen them stop people on the street too.
No, yeah, but you notice
especially the ones who don't know themselves.
Right. But there's a look in essence that comes off of people. But for the most part, they're doing that a lot less now. That's where that whole carding stuff has stopped.
Yeah.
right?
But, well, the truth is, the whole thing is a game.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a game. And it's just trying to play the game. And holding them accountable.
You can't hold the criminal accountable.
But you can
Well,
keep your
but
own
you can.
record.
You
can
can.
keep your own meticulous record.
But that's the thing. I beg to differ because I think you can, because how did we get to Supreme Court case studies? It's because people held them accountable and it went to appeal courts and it went to appeal courts until they got, so you can hold them accountable. And not all judges, we know some of them, their hands are greased, but not all of them are going to violate the actual oath that they took.
But, no,
Because-
but then that's a whole nother thing now. That when we're talking about here, they don't got no oaths here. Because they're taking an oath to a queen, Regina, which is a corporation. They're not taking an oath to enforce law or to be lawful or to sit on the bench in a judiciary position. That's a guy who they just went down the street, throw a robe on him, throw a green sash or a red sash on him, put them at the thing and say, okay, yeah, we got about 20 people coming in. Make sure you at least get $20 from everybody.
Question, is Canada the better business bureau? Are they better business bureaus?
No, Toronto is, Ontario is, all the cities and provinces are.
Every single time that happens, then the better business bureau should also get on record of that as well for their lack of professional conduct.
But I would say this, so that you remember, you're still going to, any of those entities are still
Are there? They're
their
entities.
stuff. And I'm not, as I said, I don't wanna dissuade you from doing what you're doing, because that's the way to sort of put them in check. But ultimately, the real goal of this, and this is what we started this off at the beginning, is to get us into our own communities, dealing with our own stuff. The fact is, right now, maybe you are doing some stuff, but if they start bringing you to these tribunals, if you have a family, if you don't have time to be able to take off work, remember everything that, like Kuba says, they're stopping thousands of people that are financing them being able to sit and battle you down. And I'm not saying you might not be able to get some redress, but to sort of the real duty in our work is to do this for our community and for our nation. Because every one of those little things that you're doing, none of them are going to be held as sort of stare decisis or any law, because remember, it's all de facto. So you might be able to get off on your stuff, but ultimately, the next guy behind you line is going to have to face the same
Go
battle.
through the same stuff.
But I get that, and I get the point, and I am totally aware and I agree with everything you're saying. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why we have case studies.
But you notice that
We have case studies because people fought and won.
they've never, to this point,
It's in
ever
courts.
given a more they've never given a more any decision that you're going to be able to use this case study. They won't do it. They'll throw it out before it ever gets to that case. And the reason why that is because the case
They know
law,
that
like
that's
you
what-
say, becomes precedent. But if they did, but because remember you're in their venue, just to the point where you're about to win, they drop it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Just at the point where you're about to win, they drop it. And then you're like, well, what the hell? And then you're going to them to say, hey, aren't I right? They're like, well, we don't even know what you're talking about. Who's throwing that out? Most of the time you go, you lick your wounds and you go on. That's the problem. We got to start looking at this from a different venue, because we're still arguing in their venue. That's what we're trying to get to. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. But they will never, masters before you, battle those guys down. They never will give you that thing. You're a Moor and you have the right to travel. If not, they're done.
That's why all
The whole system is predicated on them doing that.
notice all the when you look at all the stare decisis, all the Supreme Court cases based in these subject matters, it's always some individual versus some corporation. You know what I mean? Like it's never a Moor versus whatever that this thing can, because more stuff doesn't get to be stare decisis, because they will get rid of it, because they know that if one more gets through, now all of them are going to get through, because of the power of the precedent.
100% of the people who have battled them and are no longer battling them, it's not because they've said, you know, you're right. It is because of dismissal. That's the only thing I've heard.
Dropped. We're not going to proceed. whatever the terminology is.
And
To
then,
say, you know what, this is the kind of energy, all of us. More I'm going through something. I don't know if you guys read your almanac. This year is supposed to be heavy for the planetary stuff. This is our stuff right now that we need to see. This is our challenge. The challenge, yet again, it's been going on for decades more. Taj battled them down with his right.
Yeah.
Udo battled them down with the right to travel. You think we're on some new stuff here?
No, I'm not saying.
I know, but I'm just saying to you, the reason why insanity is called doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We're not going to get that going through them. Only thing we're going to do is if we decide to say, hey, the same with this community here, we're going to buy up everything in this neighborhood. We're going to make sure that when you come in, you know, certain areas, they say in certain places you can't even go in.
Right.
Policy enforcers can't even go in those neighborhoods because it's our neighborhood, right? That's sort of that's the line that we have to get to. Everything else, that's where Cujo says follow. If you're going to be doing anything in this thing, follow the little rules. Because
Your presence in the town is minimal.
Well, we have to probably start assembling and protest. You know what I mean?
well, protest is one. I'd say that we got to organize. We got to well, we'll figure out a game plan, but one that is definitely not involved with trying to get them to admit to anything. It will not. It's. I would say this. It's going to be a sort of a very difficult
like,
battle to get.
for example, like with in 2 years or whatever, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna come in the door talking like how you're talking, because they found out some wealth of information, and from the information perspective, it sounds right, and we're just gonna put this thing down, and then they're gonna do whatever. Right? It ain't going down like that. You know what I mean? These people have mastered we have to master our stuff. They have their stuff mastered. Their stuff is mastered to the point where, a more goes to court and, they dismiss it or they kick the more out and then they ex parte the case and find them guilty anyway. But the more knows that, they didn't find me guilty, they found Straw guilty. So, hey, whatever, do your thing. Right? But if the more still needs that license or still needs that conveyance or whatever like that, then it's not really the fight can't really be like that, because they still have the upper hand now, because they just suspended your whatever. Now they took your conveyance, and then now you're sitting there. Where's the stuff? But we're right. Everything's dismissed, but they got the conveyance, but everything's dismissed. How come they didn't get conveyance back? Because they got to get something. It's all about finance with them. So just like the master teachers teach us, it's about forcing their hand financially. Make it hurt them financially if we're gonna hurt them.
So how to do that?
And that's the place where we have to get to, figuring that out.
Some of those things would be torts and stuff like that, where they'd be personal injury and that kind of stuff. But yet again, our position on a lot of that is, why don't we look after ourselves, figure out ways to get ourselves up there? Because yet again, when we go to battle them, it's our finance through the taxes that they're using to then battle us. As I said, if you've got a family and whatever you need to be on your straw, or not on your straw, on your JOB or your slave, then you're gonna have to be taking time out of that.
Well, how are you gonna do that if they're still gonna violate it?
So again,
How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna get our stuff together if they're still gonna?
well, this is what we've been
This
talking
is
about
the thing.
earlier
This is the
today.
thing.
It's gonna take the collective
I mean,
coming together.
this is where we're at.
That's why I'm saying part of your position right now is valid, but not valid to the overall fight, because the masters before have fought that. And we're in their venue, we're in their game, and everything that you're saying is absolutely right, but you're not gonna get that criminal to back down on that. So we've got to come at it in a different way. Maybe, like you say, maybe we got to do a tort against Carolyn Bennett. But then again, remember, she's minister of, right? They'll throw her to the bus before anything. And what she do is she'll claim bankruptcy, and then we're still back at square one.
At zero.
So I think though, like we were saying, like it's about us coming together, not in terms of like going to them, and we have to like from an individual, from mine, and then outside of us within the nation without having to do it. If our numbers have grown to a certain level, then and our activity is in line, it's sharp and square, then we can actually discuss things with other nations because they can take us seriously.
Well, I'm sorry, just that you came here and you said, I'm reading. This is crazy. You just said that to me now. You said, remember I said to you, this place should be rammed. This should be standing room only. Think about this. You have found your way home and look at how many people are with you. And then think about how many, let's say, people are here in the Toronto Regency. Us Moors who, look at this. We got issues here.
So then we should probably look at strategizing in the way how we get the message out.
Yeah.
I know, but we can't. We have been, yeah, okay. So that probably, in my point of view, I would say that failed because this is not that.
Thank you.
This place is not packed. So we have to look. Do we stop there? No, we have to keep on looking at still how to try to strategize to get the masses up because the information itself, man, once people see the information and understand it, because just like how I saw it, it took bit and bit and bit, and I kept reading and researching, and now I'm like,
that's the difference.
I would rather stand alone than to be part of a corporation because of what I see what's involved inside of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So once you get people to understand that information, I think we have a good number of people that would realize what's really happening. So we have to find ways of strategizing.
Like even if we use the example of your event, how much people did you tell about your thing that you were having, and how many showed up?
Well, they showed up, and I'm still talking to those people. You know what I mean? And it takes time, and I think we have to be patient because you got to remember that these people, when they hear a lot of people are hearing this information, it's like for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're in their 30s, late 20s, whatever. They've been brainwashed from since they were a child.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't gonna take 6 months, 5 months to just switch. Some people have made, but majority of the people, it will take time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It been taking me like what, about 2 years or 2.5 years.
Yeah.
To get to this point.
Right.
So it takes time, and those people gotta be willing. So I got friends that I'm talking to bit by bit, I'm sharing certain information with them. And they ask me, they see it. So it's like planting a seed, you know? So it takes time.
Yeah.
But we have to strategize because it seems like we don't even have time on our side right now. So we have to find a strategy that will really grasp their attention. Mm-hmm. That, wow, I see. Just like this morning, I was reading about the virus there, and what's going on, and I'm thinking this is kind of fishy. You know what I mean? But it's gotten people's attention because this virus, when it reached this point, it may kill about 20 million people. So people are just walking on, just dropping. They got videos now showing people walking in China and just dropping dead. You know what I mean? So we have to use our mind. Because remember, the whole thing is it's a one big game.
It's a simulation.
Yeah. So you have to strategize with looking for the outcome of what you're trying to reach. So you have to build your strategy around that. You know, and I'm willing, and I would love to really be a part of helping see ways how we can strategize, because professionally, I've been in that kind of environment where I plan strategies and so forth to execute what our actual outcome on our goal is. And I think, because I think the information that we have is untouchable. It's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, but we always say, you know, the maxim, you can lead a horse to water.
Yeah.
Drinking is on the horse.
Right. But for some reason, where they're at, it's not registering. And they can't see the danger that they're probably in.
Yeah, they can't see.
Yeah, they can't see.
You can't make somebody see if they don't want to see.
It's not making them see, but it's also hard for them to see because of how everything is set up. So you have to develop a strategy and to get them to see what you're trying to show them.
What it's like we're saying, the mechanisms in place, right? People don't even know if those videos are from China. They got Asian people in them. That don't mean that those videos are China. That can be some stuff they made up on Hollywood or whatever, and has absolutely nothing to do with anything. And the whole fear of whatever virus is going on is really what their plan is. Not even a virus. Just get people in that state of fear. Just have them in that state alone, and then, oh, this stuff's over. Because everybody's doing everything up, and then everybody's gonna go buy the mask that has the virus in it.
True. Yeah, trust them.
And then no, right? Then it's not them. Then it's those individuals that volunteered to get the virus.
What's crazy too is the name, Corona.
Yeah.
It has like astrological.
Like, so there's so many ties to
How
it.
did they
You know what I mean?
come up with that?
How did they come up with that? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I know. But I don't trust it anyway. I think that they plant the sun. Yeah.
The beer is inspired by the sun.
Yeah.
You know, and the virus is also inspired by the sun.
Yeah, they plant that stuff.
There's something going on with so Corona. So
Yes, I think it's a lot of strategic planning. So it's really a strategy and a brainstorm. Like just to see it is one of those steps that really helps the mind put it together. And there's a brainstorm board or whatever the case is. Like me, I'm about one swing, so the blueprint is there, and then everybody sees the blueprint. I see the circle. What I'm doing, my job is that we could put together one of those quick put up tents, and then all you hear is beer sound waves coming out of that, attracting attention. Especially in a specific area where we know who our target audience is, and so that's one of the many different ways. One of the different ways.
Yeah, one of the things I want to do personally for myself is I want to make up some flyers, and I want to hand them out to people especially that have cars, and just to show them that have cars that travel with my car, just to show them that one. That the system that we're in is a corporation, and that they have rights, and the rights have been violated. Like something along that line. I mean, think about it. Just to get their attention, because I don't think people realize they probably think that this is really a legit government, that they have power, and and the rules that they're making up is everything so legit. And it's to get them to show them that this is a corporation just like any other business. They file taxes every year, just like any other business. You're being duped. And you know what I mean?
There's nothing. I'm not going to try to dissuade you either from anything that you're thinking about doing. It has to do with the people's and the individual's mindset too. You could give them all the information. They can even believe what you're saying. Yes, we understand now this is a corporation and they're ripping us off, but they're going to continue to go about their daily business the way they did before. You know what this twists me in mind of? Well, not all. No, not all.
In marketing, you always would get 20% of people respond.
That's right. You have to go through those notes.
Yes, you're right. You're not going to get everybody to respond, but you get 2 out of 10.
I get you. But we've been around here for 10 years. And look at the size of this platform.
Yeah.
Right? 10 of us started watching this show because you told them about it. Resurrection?
Yeah.
There are so many. When I look, I'm hooked now. I'm so hooked. It's about these Turkish people set in the 15th century and all of their struggles for their homeland and all that kind of stuff. The reason they had so many problems is because they were being inundated all day, every day with one kind of problem after the other. People poisoned their water. People gave them the plague. Did all kinds, ran them off the land. It's just like us, But they had a nationality. B, they lived together. So they were in a community of their own people. And they taught their history. They went back all the generations to where their history began, and they told the children where they came from, and they were proud. And these children grew up strong. They grew up, the Alps and the Bays and all them people. They could fight. They were warriors, because they knew who they were. We don't have none of that. We don't have any of those mechanisms in place. We don't live together. Most of us are still running around calling ourselves black. We don't know our history. We don't know what's going on, and we are constantly inundated with all kinds of stuff, just trying to put food on the table and stay out of jails and things like that. This is what it is, you know? So we have to be in a place that the prophet said, live together, and every temple has to have a school. So we have to have a school, and we have to be able to teach the babies and teach ourselves so that there's a continuity, you know, and we have something to be proud of. Our people don't have anything to be proud of right now. We walk around, you know, in a sad state. And this is worldwide. It's not just here in TO, you know.
And I would add on to that by saying that it has to be the divine and spiritual first, leading on. You know, when you come and you talk to someone about, oh, why are you paying for stickers? Why are you paying for this? Why are you paying for that? They might just come at you on a level of, yeah, you know, on the very basic. And they might just decide to come here to save some money, not pay tax or what have you. And they're not going to stay, as Omar said, because your heart's not in it. If you're here for money, if you're here for anything else except for yourself and to honor those who have come before you, you know?
That's what it boils down to.
To add to what you're saying though, I personally believe that the spirit is moving right now on this planet.
Always.
You know what? When I was a few months ago, I was reading a story, similar story that happened in the island of St. Vincent, where the guy, he said, I'm a Moor, and this and that, and they locked him up. But what I'm saying is that I personally believe that there is a spirit that is moving from just by people that I interact with, and I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, that when you listen to them and you talk with them, they are aware, but of certain things. So there is a spirit moving. Well, we have to believe what we're preaching. You know what I mean? That this is the time. And if this is the time, there is a divine spirit that's moving on the planet right now. I believe people's minds are open, but I think personally where we're failing is our strategy in terms of, and strategy doesn't mean that you try something and it didn't work, so you stop. You keep planning. You keep trying to figure out how are you going to reach these people? Because these people are being brainwashed. I've been brainwashed. I've got some age on me. I've been brainwashed from so is everyone else. So it's not that our history is not powerful, but it's to bring them to the point where that they can take the time to want to listen and listen to what you're showing them.
Like what you're talking about is the job of all those entertainment people with millions of people watching them. Those are the ones that could do that in an instant and have that sort of thing happen. But again, all those people are compromised, or they would be talking like how we're talking, because all of them know what's up. It's not like they don't know what's up. What do they got to hide by not putting the truth out or saying something truthful? How come they always got to dress up in some fur coat or whatever like that to try to prove a point, or have some Versace whatever to prove a point, right? Because again, if we look at it like you know, one of the things that is a constant theme with Moorish master teachers is that this is the people's information, right? This is the people's stuff. But what they do with it, that's up to them. Like me personally, I'm not gonna like one of the Moors brought up a question yesterday about they brought up a question on the IG about you know, what are we willing to sacrifice for the nation, right? And my statement was, I'm not sacrificing to have El Hajj and Khalid and all that stuff happen. That I'm just a martyr out here. I'm not sacrificing if that's the outcome. If everybody loves Khalid Muhammad and he said that he's a Moor, and then they assassinated him, and then everybody's running from being Moors, but they say, oh yeah, they honor him. That's not real honor. People are cowards, and they're never gonna whatever. That's why we're saying that, you know, we leave the door open for people who want to walk in the door. The door's not open because we're expecting droves to come in here. Like, I don't have that, because again, we go back to Noble Drew Ali's lessons, there's only going to be a handful saved. And all we need are the ones with the like minds, with the energy in the right place to get some stuff done. But even amongst those people, they got their issues that they're dealing with. That's hindering that drive to get some things done.
Mhm. And those people, yeah, but those people are out there, but they a lot of them is not, a lot of them probably not fully aware of the information. I'm telling
Well,
you.
I wanted to, I mean, things are pinned out, kind of, one of the things I want to get to, I don't think anyone here can dispute the fact that we all know when we were growing up that we were discriminated against, right? They used to call me black. I'm looking, I said, well, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute, this is black, this isn't black, right?
Yeah.
So even from a very young age, I knew something was up. I didn't understand what. But to me, I think that I think one of the things that I don't want to I just want to say that I find a lot of the times that a lot of the energy, the high energy that I see from people is usually because they're going through something at the time, right? And so they come on to this knowledge, and then you'll have
Although the situation, yeah.
and it's situational, a lot of this energy. But once, as I said, they stop poking, really, what are we going to do when we're at peace, not when we're at war? That to me should really be what it is. And I don't think any of these people out here, you talk to any of our brothers, they all know what's up. 90% of them, though, aren't gonna, that's why he said it. The prophet said there's only going to be a handful. Because 90% of these people are not going to be those people that when you say, okay, let's get up and go clean, we'll have a clean the streets thing. Right? We'll call people over here, come. Everyone meet, let's go and clean the streets. 8 people show up.
Okay, the point I'm making, I'm not talking about those people.
No, I'm saying
I'm talking about people.
of
I'm talking about people that wants to be here.
Right.
There are more of us that wants to be here, but haven't been in touch yet and probably don't know the information.
It's online, and this is, everybody got the computer.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ because I was involved in stuff that plays the numbers game, dealing with marketing, and you're going to set up a stand outside selling lemonade, and all the people, 100 people are going to pass by you, but only 20 people were sprung, and I'm looking for that 20 people.
Okay.
Yeah, but again,
The point I'm making is that, again, as Fortune said a while ago, if something inside, you gotta have a seeking spirit. You have to know that there's something wrong, and you want to try to find a remedy for it. And if you can sit down for hours and play mind game or whatever, Minecraft or all these games,
or watch
and
football.
watch the Kardashians and football, that's because you ain't ready for this yet. It's that simple, because the information has been out here for 10 years.
So what
And we're talking
Hold on.
hundreds or thousands of videos just from this grand sheet alone, not to mention all the others, right?
And then one
So
of the things,
if you're not ready for it, you ain't ready for it. And nothing is gonna make you ready for it until you decide, okay, this is something that, this is what I've been looking for. And when I find it, I'm here to stay.
But how would you know that? Because all of us that are here got here by
Whatever means,
the first impression. First of all, I met Cujo a couple years ago in Scarborough Town Center, and he told me something. You are more than this. Certain little thing that stand out to me.
Yeah.
And I just start reading and researching.
Right, you started.
That goes to your
You started
spirit.
that.
I know.
Right.
Most
You
of the
started
people
doing
walking around here, when you say you're a whore
They
and you're
don't
being
know.
violated, they don't care because
First-
nothing is happening to them right at
I
this
beg
moment.
to differ. I
But
beg
when
to
they get pulled over and they get thrown in the shower,
Then they
all
want-
of a sudden,
now they
then
wanna
they
know.
want remedy.
Now they wanna
Then they go on, then they get the remedy, and then you never see them again.
Because what if they don't know? For instance, I was standing there and I didn't know.
Right?
so
And somebody passed by and cheered your XYZ. Boom, it put my
it's
interest.
just, this is why I
So
want,
that's the point I'm talking about. What about those people that don't know that? They have to be out there.
And that was 2 years ago that you saw, so how come 2 years later, we still don't have any more people that know? You know what I mean? There's too much, and this is the age of information, the age of Aquarius. This stuff is out there.
You're right.
It's everywhere you go.
Like what you say. I never heard about the more until last year.
Right.
I didn't know nothing about more. Last year, the first time I
Well, you know what, it's funny, because a lot of people that I talk to about it say, yeah, I know about that. So a lot of people do know,
Yeah.
but they just ain't
What are they gonna,
that interested, or they're not ready, or it's not,
Or they're waiting for someone else to clear the path.
There are people, I personally, I beg to differ, because there are people I believe that just like how we got here, there are still a lot more people out there
no, for sure, no,
that don't know.
because
no.
they're not ready, my brother.
But I want to say,
When the student is ready, the teachers will appear.
there it is right there, Mocha.
Oh, it's true, it's true.
There it is right there.
And if you ain't ready, because you're watching football games and drinking and having a good time and Friday night again, you're really not, this is not for you right now.
But one of
It's
the
not
things,
for you.
So then what is the point of?
so here's what I wanted to say, one of the things that we did do, right, in terms of what you're saying, right, people need to know. So we went down to Young and Dundas. We stood on the corner for 4 hours, 3 hours with the Islam people and the
The Black
Christians
history.
and the Black history people. And unawakened words walked by us back and forth, didn't want to, knew exactly what we were about and just kept walking. So ultimately, there's also a set of people, there's a lot more people that do know and don't want to have anything to do with this. And I told this to Kudu too, that if you're doing well in this fraudulent society here right now, straw, you're making a little 90 G a year, whatever. You ain't about rocking the boat to get your nationality because you've been pimping. So the deal being that you're also dealing with all of those little nuances. We sat there twice, and finally by the second time we said we ain't coming out here anymore because it was a joke. Because the people were looking at us with contempt, and we're trying to give you back your nationality, and you're walking by us as if we're one of these religions. And it was too much for us from that perspective. So Cujo's online. You know what I mean? You want to talk anytime you're having some problem in life. Because if you don't have a problem, then you're not looking for a solution, right? On a certain level. You know, and that's how it is. You come and tell people you're a Moor, if they don't have a problem, then what's being a Moor going to do for me? Because right now the so-called queen is giving me my stuff. So I'm just giving you that.
So let me put it back on you now. So so we went out twice and we did this, and we feel like we didn't get any success, so we stopped.
No, but what I'm trying to say to you is I'm giving you that example on that level of saying, hey, why isn't someone standing on a corner giving out flyers?
I know, and
I'm saying we were.
And I think we should do that more often.
But
You
we're
know,
saying-
you know what? I took the bus the other day to Scarborough Town Center, and they got these Israelites, right? And they're standing there and they're giving out flyer.
Yeah.
But the one thing is they're consistent of giving out their flyer, even though the information might be off. They're consistent, and I think we got to be consistent in the fight. If keep on sharing information.
No, but the shit. It's not necessarily that we're saying not share the information or we shouldn't be doing certain things. We're just saying that this is people's stuff. If they want it, they'll come get it. Like
But if they don't know that's their stuff, how are they gonna come and get something that they don't know it's their stuff?
this
And they haven't been exposed. Like the brother said, he haven't heard about. Trust me, I meet people when I tell them they don't even know the name of the word more.
Yeah, but they know the word Batman though. They know Batman and Superman and
In this day and age, everybody has how many devices?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got a phone, you got a tablet, you got this, you got that.
I
What are
know,
you doing
I
with
know a
that?
lot of people know. I'm not talking about the people. That's the thing. I'm not talking about the people that know. I'm talking about the people that don't know.
Okay.
I believe there's a lot of people that don't know that wants to be a part of this.
They don't know because they're playing games on their devices.
Maybe
That's
so.
why they don't know.
Maybe so.
Their heads aren't ready for this yet.
So Brendan, what I would say is that I think it's also important to know that standing on that corner, as Lamar said, makes you look as if you were similar to the other ones that are standing there. And if the other ones that are standing there are not speaking complete truth, then you also look like someone who might not be speaking the complete
That
truth.
was part of it.
So knowing your venue is very important, one. Number two, I would say all of us have family, all of us have community, and hopefully we've been transparent and clear with them as to who we are. Why then is there such a small fraction? Why not are there so many more people from our communities and our families? Because they surely know who we are, meaning they could know who they were if they made that logical deduction.
It all comes down to the self, it all comes down to readiness. And until you are ready, until you know yourself, you're not going to see it. And it has to be sought. Because I can tell you you're more, brother, you're more all day long. But until you yourself wake up and say, I'm more, nothing external is going to change that.
I'm talking about the initial stages, because, like I said, I got into it of learning about more of my history by the initial stage. And that's what I'm talking about. You know what? When I talk to some of my friends, they go, "Gary, you should hear them." We always use all the negative, the negative stories that happened in the past. And then like, "Gary, you're one person, you think you're gonna make a difference?" Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm already making a difference. I had a health inspector come into my place, my restaurant, and violate me, take my stuff because she opened up a rookie, just start on the job, 3 months, don't probably understand how the temperature of the fridge and everything works. Open up my fridge for over half an hour, and the temperature went skyrocket. So now she decided that she's going to throw out my stuff from my fridge because the fridge is not in proper temperature. I said, well, you just held the fridge open for how long? And I didn't even realize myself the impact that they had on the fridge until when I called my friend who does that kind of work to look at the fridge the next day. And when they came back the second time, the health inspector the week after, when she opened up the fridge, in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, within 3 minutes, the temperature went like 10 degrees high. I said, so you imagine you had that fridge open for half an hour to 40 minutes while you're probing through all my stuff to see if they're the right temperature. Could you imagine the temperature that went up that fridge and you decide to throw it all out? Guess what? From since that day now, when they come around, the manager, the supervisor, her supervisor comes with her to monitor that she's doing a correct job the second and the third time that they came back. The point that I'm making is that people say that one person can't make a difference, but one person could make a huge difference. I just said, look, I made a huge difference. Now they respect. Now she asked me to open up my fridge because I don't want to touch your fridge. Could you open up your fridge? So what I'm basically saying is that the power of one is very powerful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And sometimes we just need some different ideas, some different dynamics to try different things. And we can't give up. We gotta be consistent.
One of the things that you mentioned is that we have to be consistent. So, you know, for example, with if we do the thing of doing the street thing, right? It's a consistency of us doing that let us not forget that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a consistency of people coming here, getting their nationality and leave, and we never see them again. Why we don't just give out nationality cards anymore? Now you got to show that you're worthy to have a nationality card. You got to show that you're worthy to wear a fez. You got to show that you're worthy to, you know what I mean, reap the benefits of the Moorish experience. Because if the consistency isn't there, then it's not going to work anyways. It's still gonna fail. We could have 1 million people in here, but if the 1 million people are here 1 day this week, 5 weeks we don't see them, 4 weeks we don't see them. If it's not 1 million every week.
I get the point. I get the point.
But I also wanted to say one thing too. And now I remember we were out at your spot, the index, right? So remember we were there with the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. How many of them are here? Right? So I'm just showing you that from wait a minute, we gave them. Did we not spend enough time to let them know what stuff was about?
And we did make an impact. I'm here to bring news that made an impact. You may not think so, but
we'll never know until they actually show up here, right? So the impact is being made all the time, but we can't. There's not always going to be that sort of quantitative thing. You were out there, 15 people came in. Remember, we go somewhere, could be about just one person, like you're saying, in the answer. But one of the things that I want us to remember is that we are under occupation. We have been overthrown, first of all, on a certain dynamic, and then we've been overthrown mentally. That goes up here. But, overthrown mentally, and I think we always have to keep that in mind, because what's happened is we're forgetting about the unseen hand. The same people that came to deal with your restaurant.
Yeah.
The same people dealing with your conveyance. You keep not, those are the guys you gotta focus on a certain level. Definitely waking us up, but understanding exactly where we're at is how we're gonna come out of this. And the fact that there are forces that are there, and that those forces have also created certain sorcery that has our people in certain dynamics where they want to keep Israelites.
Like speaking about forces, right? When we were doing the Black African whatever, right? We were vending once a month at events. We were people were calling us to talk to their youth groups, right? Like I didn't have a week. Right after work, I got some program to do. 6:30 to 9 o'clock at some Black whatever, because they want to give their people and we have the information, so come on. You start saying that we're Moors, we go to these events or whatever, people passing our table. And this is on a consistent basis, right? We probably do one event a year now, which is the hair show. Yeah. And that's only because I know that sister, why we do that show, right? And she's always rep properly, you know what I mean? Take care of us.
And more importantly,
at our events.
Energy than anything that's really going there for any purpose.
For real purpose, you know what I mean? We'll have one individual come to our table that we've got to the position of, damn, well, hey, if that's the one individual that came to the table, then that's who we were here for, that one individual.
Well, I'll tell you this, in the last 5 years in Uganda, when 1 or 2 individuals come, not one of those, not one of them has followed up coming here.
Right.
Remember the last one was the King's Court one, the King.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know about the Moors, but we know that you masculine energy needs some help, so come and join this King's Court group, which is about brothers who are helping deal with stuff. We're like, well, why don't you come to the nation? Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Or then she called, and she called and said she couldn't come.
Yeah, she called about something, but
she called and said she couldn't make it. Just to show you that we're there.
Yeah.
We go a little bit deeper with this. Our people, no matter what, there's a big problem. I remember in Malvern Mall, I used to live in Malvern. There was a woman who didn't identify as a Moor. I guess she identified as a Black woman, and she had a booth. So she would sell different things. You know what I mean, like health products and all. Yeah, black soap, that kind of thing. Yeah. And our people would pass, they're all day, and they would pass her by and go to the shopping mart to buy their soap and their deodorant and all that stuff. You know? Just pass, she's a sister, support her, see what she's got, at least come to the table, or they come and they look, and then they keep right on going. So this is a deeply rooted self-hatred, you name it, and there's a whole lot of different levels to this. There's a whole bunch of different levels to this.
And not that, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying as far as the implementation of certain things. We're looking at it from a seasoned approach. Been there, done that. But whoever wants to come in and do flyers are right over there in stacks. Take as many as you want, give out as many as you want. You know what I mean? Because it's not like we're not about giving out the information. You know what I mean? This information is constantly being put out. But are the people receiving gonna apply it once they get it? They get the information. Oh yeah, we're Moors and all that stuff. But if it's not being applied, you're just You're just talking.
And I go even further with the CP to say some of the people that have come around and stayed around for a very long time aren't even necessarily from this part of the continent. But they found the information, they found that it was for them, and they've stuck around. They loved Cujo's teaching so much that they've tried to help out where they could. And this has happened on an international basis. So no one would have been able to go to Germany and say, hey, brother, you're a Mormon. He found out for himself, and from Germany, he's been coming back here one more.
You know what I've been, because again, I'm always into strategy. So what I've been doing now is, for the last couple of weeks, after reading and finding out so much information, what I'm now showing them is the codes, a lot of the UCC codes, and showing them what the system that we're in. This is who you are. You're a citizen of this corporation who is a foreign government. So I'm trying to use different strategies just to get to the right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm saying, like, after seeing those, I'm like, hell no. How could I be a citizen of a corporation? It's like you're not even a citizen. It's like your citizenship is relinquished. You're not even a citizen of the land. You're a citizen of a corporation. I'm like, I was telling my friend Brady, I'm like, you're like a citizen of Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Well, it's an international company,
Yeah.
but it's not a nation.
Yeah, right. So I'm just, my thing is trying different strategy to whatever.
Yeah. No,
As the quote come to me now, as to the Romans, I became a Roman. To the Jew, I became a Jew. It's all about strategy. It's a mind game.
Yeah.
Because that's what they played on us.
Yeah.
And that's why they have us in so deep. Because it's all a mind game. Yeah, it's a serious mind game.
They didn't just tell us how we jumped in.
This morning I was learning about a little bit more about the TV, how the TV works, and when they invented the TV in Germany, in Nazi Germany, and when you watch the TV, there's a signal that it's sending to your brain and programming you, and you don't even know. That's strategy.
That's why they call them TV programs.
Yeah, that is strategy, and they're great on strategy. Now, how are we going to beat their strategies? That's what we have to figure out. Is coming up with different strategies to counteract. No, I'm not just talking about the TV. I'm talking about, because this is the truth, and the message is powerful. Why would you not want to be a part of this? This is better than what they have to offer. But for some reason, we got it in our brain that what they're offering is better than what we have.
That's the program.
And we have to find a way now to show them, like, listen, what we have here is better than what they have.
Well, that's great. That's the program.
This information should be mailed inside of every mailbox.
Man, it's so powerful.
Open for information, so it should be like, yep.
I know for me, I'm gonna try to find ways on my own part to figure out how I can get the message out. And I'm gonna use a lot of their own strategy just to affect the brain, because I've been in that environment with strategy dealing with people. And to get them, I used to involve in a lot of different marketing programs and how people think and how they work. And that's the same strategy that they're using on us. Is how people think. To get their attention.
Or if people think.
Well, how people think, but I think it's just the way how things are being put forth.
They're slowing down on some thinking now.
But the spirit, there's a spiritual spirit that I believe personally that is moving on the planet right now. And it is moving. So I believe that the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few.
Yeah.
And we have to find ways of reaching the other few people that we're going to reach.
I mean, and again, it's you know, like, it's not like they can't be reached or whatever, but once that line's put out there, like, they're the ones that got a bite. Like, we could, like, all we could do is Plant the seed.
Yeah.
And I hear you, because you've been at this for a while. So it's like you've been throwing the line.
Line. I got
I said,
a row of line.
appreciate lining. You know what?
Hear that?
You're the different thing.
There's two seed planting stories that I love. Two of them. One of them is the one I think it's about this bamboo tree or whatever. And then there's an unconscious moral who's doing a speech, motivational speech for a lot of people. And he's like, there's one particular plant or bamboo or whatever that like for 5 years or whatever, it don't grow.
Doesn't grow.
Right.
And then within 3 weeks, it's from
You're right. It's fine. It's fine. Go. Yeah.
you know, and then there's the other one
When it's
where
ready.
the Chinese national is there in like a desert kind of terrain in China, and every day he was going out there and planting, where it was nothing, like it's barren, and then after a few years, all of a sudden it starts blushing green. But here it was, anybody look at that, there's nothing can grow there.
The
Nothing will
conditions
grow.
And sometimes
have to be proper. If the conditions aren't proper, and this again, it's people's capacity.
Yep.
If they're ready for the information, it's gonna come right away. If not, it's gonna take that 5 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden, a light bulb goes on. You know, we can only tell people.
and
That's
sometimes
it.
because we're reaching people, sometimes it's all about even just the one person. And I'm saying that because I've experienced it many times over, where I'm doing different programs and I'm looking for all these people. And then that one person passed and saw how meaningful it was. I made a huge difference for all those people. So what I'm basically, and I don't know, I'm here today because I feel the time has come for me to make my stance and declare my nationality based on all the information I've been studying. And I'm just saying that I'm coming with a different energy based on my experience, because we still got to keep going at it. I know it gets weary. Sometimes we feel that, you know what, we've been there, out there, but
You're coming in with a fresh bat.
yeah. You're right. You're not coming to, with a fresh energy, and that's my spirit that's who I am as an individual anyway. So I'm just trying to figure out, because like I said, and I keep, every time I come in contact with, I have the same message. We have to find different strategy. How could this is amazing.
Yep.
And for our people, if you're exposed to this kind of information, how could you want to give up this for something else?
You want another strategy? Tell them you're having a party.
All those strategies. All those strategies.
Together, man.
There's all those strategies.
Lock the door. Turn on that chair. Yeah, Jerry.
That's the truth, though. It's all about finding different strategies and trying to reach.
That's the huge strategy right
Because there's people
Large
out there
plates.
that want to say. And we can't let our past experience hinder our future endeavors.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We ain't begging anybody out.
We just understand the fact that we've been so deeply brainwashed. Yeah, it's hard to, it's like you're like 30, 40, 50 years old now and you're trying to relearn all over again.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
As not easy as it is.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that they put their energy to. You know what I mean?
You think it's easy? You think
A lot of
it's
things they
easy
put their energy
to just stop saying I'm black? When all you've been told from since you were a child, you're black?
But you always knew from you were a child.
But then you taught to have pride that you're black, you know, when you're told to let go of the pride being black, you're asking about black.
All these years, 37 years, 47 years, you've been black. And all of a sudden, 1 year now, you decide you ain't gonna be black anymore. That's not easy, man. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. The corporation is not that, might as well.
Might as well go to it.
That's better, it's really better than standing on the corner. I go to the neighborhood, I mean,
You heard? That's It's a lot more. Let's get ourselves closed up.
Peace, Morris.
Town hall. Islam, boys. Islam. Just gonna close out. Some dates coming up. We got hugs Thursdays. 7 stuff.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Sorry, there's a children's class on Saturday.
Okay. It's up there.
6. Yeah. I'll start next week.
Okay.
From there, from the 8th.
Yeah. February 8th
Or first session.
or February 1st, we're gonna be starting up some children's classes on Saturdays. We have hugs on Thursdays. We have February 21st, February 22nd, we have our Ottawa trip. So it's probably gonna be our 1-day fly in and fly out. So if anybody's interested in that, make your arrangements so we could get out there to do our usual. And then March 21st, we're gonna have our vernal equinox event in Montreal.
Meeting the sun in the east. So that's what we've been looking to sort of start to. The other part to all of this is strengthening and emboldening our culture, which is some of this the background stuff. So why, when you're looking at why people don't, certain reasons why people don't want to jump on this, because
so it's fair to say that's
nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah,
So if you
21st,
want shit still, they're going to stick with what they got. When you got something on Sunday, we don't have something going on Sunday, then they're watching football. So I'm saying, if we don't have something going on Saturday, then they're watching basketball. So we need to be able to do that. That's part of what we're missing as well, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where it is. And then we will be starting something up very soon in terms of, I've been looking to start some stuff up in terms of Rick writing, stuff like that. I want to see what's going on with these guys with the Saturdays, but I'll be doing that every Saturday. That'll be starting. Town hall, we should be having,
Should be in maybe
in the next week,
a
2
week
weeks.
or 2 weeks, let's say.
Keep a look on your emails for that. Part of our issue with town halls though too, is that, we call town hall, we get 20 people show up, we decide on something, and then afterwards you'll see 8 people show up. So how are you gonna get anything done? And that's even within our,
Was it?
So just to show you that, we're looking at, you're saying we're not giving up. We're also looking at employing different tactics, because if it's not working that way, but also sometimes you might have to put a tactic down. You know what I mean? You can't keep doing the same thing and getting the same result if it's negative, and then want to keep doing that. So that's why I'm saying we're not sitting down on the street corners anymore. We're trying to have a modality, right? So it's
Christine said that, for Ottawa, there's, if you decide to go by train, there's a very good rate right now.
Yeah.
$40 or $47 return. 46.
Well, yeah.
You gotta do it quick before the price.
You have to book it now.
Yeah, but no.
Because I figured, I don't know.
But when are we going there? October, February 22nd.
February 22nd, Ottawa. Islam, more let's close it.
$40, might as well put on these guys.
5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah, my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. His holy prophet. Noble Juali. Ashe. Islam. Say mom knows too. Be my dad. Islam boys.
I don't know if you want to put it in, Jakeem putting his
I don't know if you want to just give it a quick, in case